Hi, it's Cara and today we are filming my March TBR. So I didn't upload any videos last week and that was mainly because I was super busy and was a bit behind on my filming schedule. So I just didn't have time to catch up and film the videos I needed to film during the week. And it's now Saturday and these are going to be like next week's videos, you feel? But anyway, I just decided to skip them. The topics I'd planned might come up in later videos, but we'll see. Today we're doing my March TBR, as I said, and it's probably a little ambitious, but we'll see. So I have a few carryovers from previous TBRs to mention, so we'll start with those. We have The Kingdom of Copper, which was technically my January TBR as a new release, was in my February TBR to try and catch up, and now it's making it onto the March one. Hopefully it gets read in March. I'm trying to be more reasonable and put this higher up on my priority list in March. This is the sequel to The City of Brass and is a Middle Eastern Egyptian genie story that's inspired by one of the stories in The 1001 Nights. I enjoyed the first one, but I didn't absolutely love it, which I think is what has made me deprioritize this, but I'm going to push to get it read this month. Then we have Clariel by Garth Nix, which again was on my February TBR because I read books 1, 2 and 3 in January and I wanted to keep it up and keep going, but I didn't get to it. This is the 4th book in the Old Kingdom Chronicles. It's technically a prequel, and it is a bit chunky. It's like 400 pages. I am really excited to read this, but I just didn't get around to it. This is a high fantasy, urban fantasy blend, and it's a great series. I think this one's going to be more high fantasy than urban fantasy, and I'm just really keen to see how it goes and then get on to book 5, which is the final book currently out. And there was one of the books from my recent top 5 5-star predictions video, which I'd put 2 on my February TBR because I didn't get one read in January, so I bumped it to February, had 2 for February. I read the one that was meant to be in January but didn't read the one for February, so it's carrying over into March, and that is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This is a Russian-inspired fantasy with folklore kind of influences. The 3rd and final book in the trilogy recently came out and I'm so excited to read these. I'm pretty sure Riley from Riley Marie 1196 is going to be reading this in her low-key book club and going to be doing a live vlog for this, so I'm thinking I'll vlog this as well. And I think it'll be a good time, so expect a reading vlog for this over the month of March. Then I might as well tell you about the extra 5-star predictions one I'm going to be adding in, and I'm really desperate to read this, so we're going to get on to I blame the short month of February for only getting to 1. So the second one will be The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I also really want to read this soon because the 3rd book is on the BookTube SFF Awards list, and there's only 10 books on that list that I haven't read. I think like 4 of which, or 5 of which, are short works, so really only like 5 novels. 3 are graphic novels, 1's a short work, 1's a middle grade, and then 5 other novels that I haven't read, so I'm gonna try and get them read by June, which is the BookTube SFF time period, but at least finished by the end of the year. But the 3rd one of these, and this is the 1st one, is on that list, so I really want to get to this very soon so I can pick up the 2nd and 3rd ones. These are a slice of life sci-fi story, very character driven, about a group of people from different races and species on this spaceship. It's about all I know. If you've been following my last couple of TBRs, you know I do 3 picks from my existing TBR, and the first one of those is a book from my childhood TBR, and for that I'm going to be reading The Right 3 by Blue Balliet, illustrated by Brett Helquist. This is the 2nd book in the Chasing Vermeer series. I read Chasing Vermeer ages ago, and they're like They were described at the time as like the Da Vinci Code for kids, and they are so much fun. Like Chasing Vermeer was so much fun. You're trying to like solve and put all the clues together, and there's puzzles and things. I'm so excited for this. It is a 4-book series, but I don't own 3 or 4, so once I finish this, I'm going to pick up book 3. I'm so excited. Then the second category for this backlist TBR section is a book that I need to read. Spoiler alert, a book that I need to read to pick up the next book that's going to be releasing soon. And so for that, I'm going to read Jade City by Fonda Lee. Jade War comes out in like June or July. So I want to get this read before then so I can pick that up at the time it comes out. And this is, I believe, like a Hong Kong inspired fantasy. And it's got a lot of like, yeah, like the jade things. I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know how to put it into words. And this has had rave reviews, so I'm so excited to read this. And the third category is a book that's been on my TBR for too long. And for that, I've selected The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, but this is a chunker and a bit ambitious. So this is like the last thing I'll read, and I won't feel too sad if I don't get to it. It is huge, and I'll just bump it to this category in a few months' time if I don't get to it. It's a chunker. It is a chunker. So this is obviously the 3rd book in the original Mistborn trilogy, yeah. This one basically follows the idea of if there was the big battle between good and evil won. And then they also, the magic system is about consuming metals, and then you can burn those metals in like a special organ that lets you do stuff. It's weird, but so good. I really enjoyed book 1, enjoyed book 2 a little less, but still enjoyed it, so I'm definitely excited to pick up book 3, but as I said, lowest on my priorities. Then we have a carryover new release from February, but I'm currently filming this on like, what day is it? It's Saturday, and it comes out Tuesday on like the 26th. So it hasn't even come out yet. So I'm definitely not going to finish it in February. So it's on the plan for March, and it'll probably be the first thing I read in March. That is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is a new dragons adult fantasy with a sapphic romance, I believe, though I don't know how big the romance is as an element. And this is also the book of the month for the Name of the Book Club, which is an Australian-based book club hosted by Kaz from Little Book Owl and Pierre from Pierre Ford, and I think Jean from Happy Indulgence is also on that team. So I'm really keen to read that because also dragons. And then new releases for the month of March. There's technically 4, but one of them comes out right near the end of the month, so we're not going to talk about that because it'll probably get bumped to April. So the 3 are Shades of Magic, Volume 1, The Steel Prince. This is the comic of the prequel to the Darker Shade of Magic series. I am so excited for this. By V. Schwab. It follows, I believe, Rysand's Reese? Is it Rysand? Reese? I can't remember. It's Reese, but like, what's his full name? I can't remember. His father when he was young. And I'm so excited. I also really want to read Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't really have an interest in her older works, but I loved Evelyn Hugo, the best book. And this follows more along that lines and along her older lines. I really like this exploration of celebrity and famous people and this like fake memoir kind of thing going on. And this one's about Daisy Jones, who has a lot of Stevie Nicks vibes, and Daisy Jones and the Six kind of like read like Fleetwood Mac in the synopsis, and I am so excited. And the third new release that I want to read this month, and definitely I'm going to try and read, is Holy Sister by Mark Lawrence. This is the third and final book in the Book of the Ancestor series. It is going to be epic. I really want to see what happens to Nona. I recently read Grey Sister last month in preparation, and I'm so excited. I didn't read it. No, I technically read it at the start of February. It's in my February wrap-up, so keep an eye out for that. I'm so excited. This is a adult fantasy. If you like Nevernight, you'll probably like this. It's assassin, nuns, and a bit of like a childhood age up. So you follow Nona from like age 10 right the way through. She's like a teenager in book 2, like the 16 age, and then I'm assuming she's a young adult in book 3. We'll see, but I'm so excited. So those are all the books I'm keen to read in the month of March. If I somehow manage to get through all of these, I don't think I will. There are some recent new releases that I really want to get to. King of Scars, I still haven't got to. That was on my February TBR, but it's not going to happen, I don't think. Spectacle by Jodie Lynn-Drock. Crown of Feathers, I'm looking at them over there, by Nikki Papetro. Really excited for that. Oh, Papreto? Really excited for that. Yeah. Oh, and Girl King by Mimi Yu are all things sitting on my TBR really wanting to be read. Some backlist titles I would love to read at the moment. Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. Wicked Like a Wildfire by Lana Popovich. And The Traitor's Kiss by Erin Beatty are all really high up on my list. I just have a lot of feelings. So those are all the books I'm hoping to read in the month of March. Let me know what your TBR for March is in the comment section down below, and otherwise I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!